Welcome back to Cards and Comics. Today I'm going to be going over 3 Cryptozoic DC card sets I purchased that are from 2012 to 2016, I believe. And just wanted to show you guys the cool art, what these sets look like. I've had them on my Instagram, and I wanted just to go through the sets. Now, the first set I'm going to go through first is what is called DC Comics supervillains. Okay, so this is one focused on all these cool villains, right? And so here's the base cards, and I'll show you these guys. You can see, just go through some of the base cards, and you can see that there is, just a lot of cool art. Atrocious or whatever. Going through here, there's just a lot of good art. There is Black Manta, Blackfire, which is the evil Starfire sister, Bleeze. Okay. So, obviously these are kind of dated. Captain Boomerang, not all of these are, there's Cheetah. So some of these are good. Some of these are kind of characters that aren't super popular. So just going through here, and Johnny Quick, kind of weird looking. Owlman, I think these are all the evil versions of the Jayla, Power Ring. Yeah, these are all the evil. And the really nice Superwoman. So that gives you an idea. And there's Ultraman, right? So that gives you an idea of the flavor of the base. Now, the cards I wanted to focus on this set. So again, this is the Super Villain set. So it's a complete set. Was some of the inserts. And I did pull out some more base cards that I put in kind of holders here. So here's the Harley Quinn. Again, these are the ones I'm thinking about getting graded eventually. And I'm actually thinking about sending these over to CGC. I confirmed that Marvel and DC are both in scope. So I'm thinking about sending this over to CGC. So that's the Harley Quinn base card. And then here is, I think that's a cool one, the Dark Seed. And this is from the cover of the Great Darkness, I believe. Yeah, the Great Darkness story. Which is a great story of Darkseid and the Legion of Superheroes. Really, really cool artwork there. Here's the Catwoman. Really nice Catwoman art. This Black Adam, I think this is a cover from one of the DC 52 comic books. And I really wish the back did have what cover this came off of, because some of these are covers and some of these are original art. So, but this is definitely a cover from that 52 issue. Here is Talia Al Ghul with Catwoman. It's great cover art there. Here's Poison Ivy. Again, great artwork there on Poison Ivy. Now the next cards I put on here are ones that are what they could call foil. So you got foil for some of these sets, like 1 in 8, 1 in 4, 1 in 6. They weren't terribly hard to get, but they made gold foils that are numbered to 25. And I used to have about 10 gold foils, and I actually had the Harley Quinn that I'll show you here in a minute. That was really nice. I had a guy come in and offer me $1,000 for all my gold, so I ended up selling them just to have some money. But there's a lot more than I paid for them, so I felt like I could maybe replace them one day, but I haven't. And I will say this is my opinion on this, because of just some people I've talked to and just how I've noticed it, is that there's a few collectors out there that have hoarded almost all of this product, and especially the inserts and the cool inserts and the good sketches. And it's just, there's some super collectors out there. And sorry, if you think that's weird, the 2018 Fuller Ultra X-Men set was hoarded by like one collector on ePack. The guy has literally like 70 or 80% of what was opened. It's just ridiculous, right? The guy just opened all of it. So that's not uncommon in these comic book cards, where these people just, and this would have been easy to corner the market on, because it was just not selling for a lot of money. So it wouldn't have cost a lot to buy like every gold that came up for auction, and just corner the market that way. So here's the silver foils. You can see they're silver foiling. Again, this is Bane. So this is why it's hard. This character doesn't even really look too much like Bane, in my opinion. There you go. You can see the tank on his back. But that weird thing on his head, I guess that's the tube, but it looks like a spike. It's from the artwork, it's not as beanie as other art could be. Is that a word, beanie? Now the Catwoman is amazing. That's just a great Catwoman. Great art there. And again, the foiliness makes it cool. Next up is Deadshot. There you go. Very cool Deadshot card. You know, and again, you know, the foils, and some of the foils were harder to get than others. Here is Doomsday, again, looking very much like Carnage or something like that, you know, with the, you know, spikiness going on. Next up is Harley. So I had this card in a gold at one time. Beautiful card. But it wasn't the coolest Harley. There's a really cool Harley card in here that it's probably my favorite Harley Quinn card by far. And I'll show it to you when it comes up. This is Joker. Again, you know, I don't like it when they show Joker as this kind of weird. They just really love to make his face look really long and with his nose super pointed. And it's like his face is like a, you know, just like a you know, just like a triangle, you know, just a really long isosceles triangle. That would be it. So not as fan of that style as too much, but this one is not quite as bad as some other. Now, next up is, this card actually is super cool because you can see the little frost. I don't know if you can see the little snowflakes in the background. This is Killer Frost. And, you know, she looks really good on this card. Like, you know, that's a great, whoever did the artist on this one was really good. So a really nice card there. Then you've got, I think, Scarecrow. Yeah, Scarecrow. Again, this set is called, I should have said that earlier, this is called Noir. So that's why it's black and white. So this is called the Noir insert set. And I believe it's the easiest one to get. It's like 1 in 4 packs. And then here is, I think this is Sinestro. Yep, Sinestro. So you can see if these were gold, how much more vibrant the card would have looked. I wish I had a gold to show you. Now, next up is the Forever Evil covers. So these are all covers. So here's the Black Adam, Forever Evil. And then on the back, you can see the actual full color art on the back. So there you go. Again, that I just showed Black Adam because the movie's coming out soon. So here is, again, so this artwork's cool, man. Look at that. Black Manta, you know, that's just really cool art. Try to get the light a little bit different so it doesn't quite look so glary. But yeah, there you go. Black Manta. And you can see the original art there. Cool. Brainiac. Not as big a fan of Brainiac. There you go. But again, foily goodness. I wish it was chromium. Obviously, you know, I think Cryptozoic just didn't have everything down that they needed to make cards. You know, they had some of the good ideas. Sketch cards were a lot of times were pretty good. But they didn't have the inserts worked out. And I think they just didn't realize how important inserts were to these card sets, especially having unique artwork and things like that. So I think, you know, if they had to redo it all, they would definitely put more time and effort on some of these inserts. But again, they're not terrible. I mean, I would say like this is just cool artwork, but it's, you know, kind of known artwork. You know, these are covers, you know, just cool, you know, cool art on a card. And that's, it has its place. So this is like fine. But I think there could have been, you know, like a chromium set, something that was more refractory, something die cut. So there was like, they put die cuts in the autograph set, but not in the card sets as much. So I think they could have gone with plexiglass or like something a little bit different. I mean, they could have had a lot of opportunity for die cuts and just cooler versions. I think foil at this point is just so basic for an insert that it just kind of like, it doesn't seem as special anymore. If you know, that's the only thing they have is foil, right? So these are the covers, and these are the really special ones. These are the ones I think that came out the nicest. And these all have, I think, unique art. So here is the Harley Quinn. This is the one I had as a gold as well. And like you can see, it actually has color in the foil. And so it's just a really, really nice card. These are called Sirens. That's why it has an S up there. Just, I think one of the nicer, I think it is the nicest card that Harley Quinn has. Honestly, like, I like the original rookie card, or the 93 Topps card, but this to me is the best image. I just love this Harley. I just, it's just a great version of the character. And again, then you get Poison Ivy, which again, this is a great version of this character as well. So the artwork on the Siren cards are amazing. Again, the gold foil would have been great, but I would love to have this card in a thicker chromium card that had more shininess to it, because I think that would have really been amazing. And of course, if this card had like, a refractory finish, that would have been, again, modern sensibilities would have said that would have been, something collectors would have loved too. So yeah, but that's the Siren cards. Again, very nice. And these all connect. And so I guess I could show you a little bit. Now they were supposed to go like this, and make one image. Now the base cards don't line up quite as nice. I guess I can try to line up a little closer. But it's supposed to be one image. And they did that with another insert set that I don't have. That formed like the I forget, the Crime Syndicate. So like you got all the characters of crime. I think it was like a 6-card or 9-card set. And it was the whole Crime Syndicate. So this forms one image like that, which again is cool. But again, for collectors, they don't care about that as much, because in most collecting, they character collect. And so that's just not something that you're going to be like, oh, well, I'm going to form this full image, and that's going to be, what I'm going to, why I'm chasing these cards. No, you're chasing it for the Harley, the Ivy, whoever you super collect. That's who you're trying to get. Now, next up is DC Women of Legend. So, again, Marvel had the, like a Women of Marvel set, or the gems and all that. So there was, the Marvel Woman set. So here's the DC version of it. And again, some of the artwork is okay. I would say this is like, it varies quite a bit. So here's like a more cartoony version of Mira, and then there's Catwoman, which is kind of in between. That's a pretty nice, Batwoman. Then you get a really cartoony Martian, or I forget what it is, Miss Martian, like almost like a Bombshell version of her. Then you get some more, I think this is Black Canary, yeah. And so some of the artwork is kind of wonky. Some of it's really nice. I really like this artwork. This is Indigo, and you can see this is the artist, Canes at the bottom. So I like this kind of artwork just because it's a little different. And then there's Stargo again with the cartoony design. Here is Dove. I don't know why I had to look that one up. That's pretty easy to recognize as Dove. Pretty standard superhero art. So this is definitely like more. And then here's kind of in between. So the artwork's like kind of all over the place, which again is one of the good or bad things. Now this seems like a more modern Marvel set, like Marvel, Metal, which had artwork from all over the place. But you get like the masterpiece sets in Marvel where you have one artist, and so you have like one standard look to the card. So I can see it either way. But this is a, Enchantress. This is, I think of the artwork, I really enjoy that kind of artwork. Here's Fire. Here is, I'm trying to think, Terra. Yeah, I should have known that. Again, very much in that almost anime style artwork there. Hot Girl. So again, nice cards. There's Ice again. But some of it, I just like this, like the Ice is a good example of, very wooden facial expressions. Like just not very dynamic poses. Almost like, like they're like they're posed like you would like an action figure, and they're not posed like a human would pose. So not, versus like art like this, which is very dynamic. So it's all over the place in terms of artwork. Here's Amethyst, which I don't think even is in modern DC. Here's Platinum, which you don't see anymore because she's a Metalman and you don't see them anymore. So again, just to give you a flavor of the base cards. Again, the artwork is kind of all over the place. A lot of it's cute artwork because, it's kind of a set for women of the DC universe. So they don't want to make it like, I guess, extreme artwork, But I pulled out some of my favorite base cards. So again, here's like that in between art where it's in between cartoony and realistic, which I like this kind of artwork. This is Saturn Girl from Legion of Superheroes. So there you go. And remember, Legion of Superheroes had a great. It was Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes. That was a great actual cartoon series back in the day. Here is a really cool Poison Ivy, and again, I don't have any problem with the artwork other than just the pose. It's like very stiff. Like the artist just, like almost like, like that could have been anybody, and then it's, like put the head of, of a redhead on there. Like it doesn't have a lot of things, like I say it's good artwork, but it's definitely, I've seen a lot better. So just putting that out there. Like this artwork is really nice. So this is Raven, and this is a good example of a take on the character that I think is nice. It's not the same kind of artwork you see all the time for Raven. It's not Teen Titans. It's definitely an adult style for Raven. So I like it, and it's something I haven't seen too often. And here is another one that I think is really cool because this book got some hotness lately because I think these characters are back in, Rose and Thorn. I think the first appearances have gone up a little bit. So here's a really nice, dual card. So this is why I would love this card. Like, could you imagine this card in a thicker, foily or shiny card version of it? It would look really cool, right? Colors would really pop. Well, my new favorites, I've started a new collection on Zatanna. So here is the base Zatanna from the set. Really cool card. I mean, again, there's some motion to it. It's not the same wooden, expression and a better pose. So I definitely like the art here really well. Next up is a card I wish was better, honestly, because I feel like, again, you get kind of that weird facial expression. But it's Harley and Ivy, which is definitely a team that's doing awesome in HBO Max. It's good, but it could be a little bit better. I think the heads are too big. I don't know. It's a little bit like, especially Ivy, her head looks really big to me on this kind of art. So anyway, it's not terrible, but it's definitely not. Like, I wish they were more interactive with each other. They seem posed like there's a distance to them, and I think Harley's maybe touching something, but you can't see her hand on you see the hand. I think she's grabbing the ankle, but just from, it's hard to see. Like, the hand doesn't look like a real hand. Like it kind of disappears. It's just weird. So anyway, not my favorite Harley and Ivy. I wish it was a little better. In fact, that card coming up, like, here's some cards that are, again, kind of duos. And here is Madame Xanadu and the Enchantress. And again, that artwork is, I think, a little nicer, a little cooler. Again, the expression on, Madame Xanadu is kind of odd, So again, not perfect, but a little bit better than the Harley Ivy. And then the one I like the most is the Fire and Ice, I think. Again, why is Fire staring off into the distance? It just seems like they're not interacting with each other. It's like, they're on this card. They're literally 1 inch apart. And they're kind of like just staring. And again, the same face. So the Campbell issue, like, the thing I always have a problem with Campbell art, and I know I haven't talked too much about it because I don't talk too much about artwork, when I talk about my comic books, but I don't like Campbell as much as I used to because all his faces are the same. And look at this art. I mean, it's literally the same face on two different people. Like, virtually, I mean, look at the lips. I mean, it's just small differences. I know you say, well, there's some differences, but it's literally the same person, just different colors. I feel like, and then the expression on Fire is just like she's on Prozac or something. Again, I say I like it better than the Harley and Ivy. The Harley and Ivy, the reason why I don't like it is just because it's a little wonky in design. It's just not as executed, And again, the expressions are just weird. Like, again, here is Starfire, and her expression looks really cool. Like, that's a great artwork. So they definitely are really hit and miss on some of the artwork. Now, the last ones I'm going to show you here. This is one I kind of like I'm mixed on. I think it's cool they did something different. Like, you have the Women of Legend, and the Harley is like, literally, this almost grotesque image of Harley with the Joker. And very interesting. Like they definitely didn't go for like super, super sexy Harley, or like, just, kind of Harley doing something, badass. This is just like crazy, scary Harley. So I never, like, of all the cards in the set, this one shocked me because I'm like, wow, they went for something really different here. So I actually think it's really cool artwork, but it's definitely not a Harley you see very often in this kind of, how she looks almost like kind of the Joker here with the teeth and the smile. So really, really interesting choice. And then the last but not least is a really nice Catwoman. Good pose, her face is okay. And doing something, having some action. So that's the Women of Legend. I don't have any inserts from this set yet. I just picked up the full complete set. So just give you some flavor of it. Again, just a lot of variation, and the Satana is really one of my favorites. So a lot of variation in that set as well in terms of quality. And last but not least is the Batman set, right? So you got the Batman set, and this one has more consistent artwork, and I'm not sure if it looks like mostly it's because it's the same guy. It definitely looks like the same artist doing a lot of the cards because it's very similar in tone and style. Again, you get the Joker isn't as extreme, but still, the bigger smile and the big chin, but not quite as extreme. The one thing I'll say about the artwork here is that it's definitely a little bit more of a boring artwork style. I mean, you got Batman. I mean, come on. But, just there's the characters aren't really doing a whole lot. I know, like, it's supposed to be kind of like, profiles, but I think the Scarecrow is definitely one of the cooler ones. And I pulled out some of my favorites, but just to give you a flavor of kind of what the entire set looks like, but, not as dynamic of art, in my opinion. And, just I think it definitely was the most plain of all the sets I looked through. But here's like some of my favorite characters and their art. So here is the Harley art, and I think this art's okay. Expression was okay, looking at the camera, that's fine. It has not her trademark hammer, right? It just looks like just a hammer. Not her trademark, mallet. But okay art. I think it's fine. It definitely does the job. You don't, get to see on the back who the artist is, I think. Oh, yeah, you do. So at the very bottom here, it says art by, there you go, Ivan Coelho and Rainer Pettier. So there you go. So good. That to me is okay. And here's the Batman. So here's like the character that's the set's based on. Very, gargoyle, I don't, is that water? Yeah, water coming from the gargoyle's mouth. I don't think it's raining. I don't know. That's weird, right? That there's water coming in. I don't think it's raining. It's just weird. Okay. Okay. It's okay. I mean, it's fine. I think, again, there's the artist, Gabriel Guzman and Rob Ween. It's just okay. Again, it's fine, but it's not as great as it could have been. Now, here's a Poison Ivy that I definitely dig. Better facial expression. Definitely goes by the Mary Jane type of facial. I do like the fact they made her a little thick. I mean, Ivy in the new, HBO series is, again, very, very skinny. This is definitely like, Ivy's definitely like, got some junk in the trunk. So a little bit of a nicer, I like this one. And then you can see art by, and so very similar. So you got the same artist doing a lot of the same, characters. So just a few artists, it appears. And there's Catwoman doing cool Catwoman pose with her whip, and you can see art. So again, similar artists doing it. So it looks like they used just a few artists, so to give it more of that same flavor, more like the masterpiece type style art, or idea. And here is Batman Beyond. And again, kind of like the same pose with a futuristic gargoyle. I don't know. Chicken. Something he's standing on. It's fine. It looks good. I like the red building background, so very cool. And again, you can see, again, the artist. Same Ivan guy. And then last but not least is Vesper. I looked at the arm. I'm like, kind of a cool pose. I thought at first it was Starfire, but it's like I think Vesper, the reporter. So there you go. That's the flavor of that set. So, again, in every set there's a few cards I dig. I like that Harley. I definitely like the Harley out of the. In fact, I like all three of these cards coming out of the Sirens set from the Villains card. So these three cards, are definitely some of my favorites as well. So again, very nice cards. And then, my new collecting passion from this set. Oops. From the woman, the legend, or whatever. You got Zatanna. Pretty cool. I like this Thorn and Rose card. And then I like the Raven here. So again, a lot of cool cards. And again, the thing I'm bringing up to you guys too is like these cards are pretty inexpensive. You can get full sets of these for really cheap on eBay. Really nice artwork. And then there are some hard to get insert sets. Like I said, this gold version of these cards. So they're out there. They're fun and they're inexpensive. So you're looking for something from Batman, from Harley Quinn, if you're Katana, Poison Ivy, whoever you collect, Teen Titans, there's a lot of cool cards out there to get. I think artwork on a lot of these cards is pretty cool. Again, it's hit and miss, but so is Marvel. And if you want something that's just fun, and again, box breaking for these products is so hard because the boxes are so expensive now, but the cards themselves are not worth as much for the most part, and the sketches don't make up for it. So it's really disproportionate priced. I would recommend you just buying the cards individually or buying the sets, and don't worry about opening this product because it's really not worth opening, in my opinion. Because again, the price disparity between the cards and the box prices is so high that you're never going to get close to that money back. The only way you can get some of that money back on some of the sets if you hit like a big time auto like Gal Gadot, and that's just not going to happen. So, but yeah, just a fun review of these three sets. Again, you've got the Batman set, you've got the Women's of Legend, and then you've got the Supervillain set. Pretty cheap, fun. Go out and find them if you want to. They're on Check Out My Card. There's on eBay, and they're not very expensive. So hopefully you guys like the cards, like my review. And if you get curious, go check them out. And I'll see you next time on Cards and Comics. Bye.